Okay, ona taj sjedin sa unishatul lajte pika, shpejtë e pastrosh pajën e në veç kur him Facebook, okay, shoh Arbinim ka shkruajt ataj njerëzve një post e ka bën se në ditë fejoana në what is this?
So, verbatim translation, okay? She was at home just cleaning the rugs and cleaning the house. You know, she just wanted to get her mind off this. She's thinking it ain't gonna happen, ain't gonna happen, ain't gonna happen. And then all of a sudden she sees messages by me, okay? Because I automatically thought, okay, I made the assumption that she knew that like this was going to happen. Like she actually physically said, yes, sure, no problem. I want to be with him. Okay. I had no idea. Like her father said, like, we're just going to go out for coffee and see what's up. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. She didn't even think we were going to go that far.
Take a girl and a guy, and they fall madly in love and form a family. Sprinkle in some counseling degrees and a doctorate, a dream of transforming relationships as we know it. And 20 years later, we give you power couple Dr. Ray and Jean Kedkodian. And this is their podcast, Couples Synergy.
Welcome back to another episode of Couples Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean. I'm Dr. Ray.
And I'm Jean. And this is our podcast about love, marriage, and relationships.
Check us out online at couplesynergy.com and be sure to subscribe to our podcast or send us any suggestions on topics you'd like to hear more about. And now on to Couples Synergy, an in-depth look at love, marriage, and relationships, where we bring you our experiences with working with thousands of couples for over 15 years.
You know, every day we get to hear intimate details about a couple's celebrations, disappointments, and everyday challenges. We've often wished these stories were shared because we know we are more similar than different. And so we've created not only an avenue where you can hear about people's intimate lives, but an atmosphere where people come over to our home pub, pour a drink, and share their stories.
People like today's guests, Arbin and XHEZIDE. Did I get that right?
Yeah.
I've been trying so hard and practicing. Welcome to our podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. It's really a pleasure to have you guys.
Thank you. Thank you.
And today we're going to be talking about arranged marriages, which is something that you two know very intimately, I should say.
Yeah.
Right? Personally. But before we get to that, why don't you guys tell us a little bit about yourselves? How old are you? Where did you grow up? And what do you do for a living?
Atëherë unë jam XHEZIDE'S STORY. Jam 23 vjet dhe nga Maqedonia.
My name is XHEZIDE'S STORY. I'm 23 years old and I was born and raised in Macedonia.
Great. Awesome. And Arbin?
I'm Arbin, born and raised in Chicago, Illinois. I am currently a student at Northeastern Illinois University, and I'm also a counselor in training at the Lighthouse Emotional Wellness Center.
Great. And, you know, obviously the listeners here are picking up on a different language. And so can you guys tell us a little bit about your background, ethnic background?
Yeah, of course. Me and my wife are both Albanians. My parents were born and raised in former Yugoslavia before that country broke up. I was born and raised here in Chicago, Illinois, along with my sister as well, too. Our culture is a mix of, and I know I'm going to have a lot of upset Albanians over the air right now. It's a little bit mix of like Slavic with many Middle Eastern cultures as well, too, because Albanian history is very interesting. We were occupied by so many nations. At one point, we were our own empire. Then eventually we had the Turks that came in and introduced Islam to us. So we are actually Muslim Albanians as well, too, from that era. What else is there? We do speak fluent Albanian, but there's so many different dialects. Like you have the Albanian from Albania, you have the Albanian from Kosovo, you have the Albanian from Macedonia, and the Albanian from Montenegro. The big difference between those two is they intermix a bit of words from that nation. So if you're from Albania, you're speaking perfect grammatically correct Albanian, whereas me and my wife, we kind of intermix it sometimes with some Macedonian in there. And then we have ones in Kosovo, they do intermix it with some Serbian, but they also do speak more close to the true Albanian dialect. And then the ones in Montenegro, they mix it up with the Montenegrin language themselves.
So your families both speak different dialects?
Yes.
Wow. Okay. Now, is that because it's regional? Like your families come from different towns or regions?
Yeah, of course. I know my mom is half Albanian, half Montenegrin. My grandmother is Montenegrin. So my mom, my uncle, and my aunt, they all grew up learning Albanian and Serbo-Croat. As for me, I kind of can understand Serbo-Croat, but however, my primary language that I speak is Albanian. And even then, my Albanian isn't very good in comparison to like my wife's, my dad's, my mom's, and so on and so forth.
Because you were born here.
Yes.
Okay. When was the first time you went over to the old country?
I was maybe 2 or 3 years old. I don't remember much of it. At that time, my family would go back a lot because my parents, too, they were, I would like to say, semi-arranged. And I can definitely get into that a bit later, difference between semi-arranged and fully arranged marriages. But yeah, we would go a lot. And then, of course, when the whole economic crisis did hit, we had to like cut back on how many times we wanted to go back. It wasn't until, 3-4 years ago, I went back. And that was maybe a good 10-year gap. Not even 10-year gap. 10-15 year gap. The last time I went there, I was like 15 years old prior to the past few times I went.
Okay. And now, XHEZIDE, this is the first time you've been in the United States?
Herën e para kur ti ka Amerika? Yes.
And how long have you been here?
Për sa gjatë ti ka Amerikë?
1 vjet.
1 year.
And did you get married here or did you get married?
Ti ka martëll me mu gjë ose ta?
Këto i na martëm.
Right here in America.
Okay.
So how did you guys meet?
So let me tell the story. My wife is going to laugh a lot, and her laughter is basically an approval for how we met. So I was 21 years old, and now my dad's giving me that talk like, hey, you're 21-year-old Albanian male. You have to go home. You got to get married. We got to, get this all sped up. And there's me being born and raised in America. I'm like, why can't you be normal Americans and let me find someone on my own here and so on and so forth. Let me be happy. Of course, that didn't swing so well with them, okay? I mean, with my mom and dad, they really wanted me to go back home, find an Albanian woman. And eventually I just said, okay, screw it. I'll give it a shot. Why not? What's the worst thing that can happen here?
And is 21 like the age that you would get married in the culture, or is that too late?
My parents got married at like 18, 19.
Okay.
Typically, like the quote unquote cutoff point is like around 25, but at this day and age, people are getting married a little bit more late. But it just really depends on like how traditional like your village is. For example, my village is very religious. The village I come from is called Bogavoy. It is about 10, 20 minutes south of the city of Tetovo. And like I said, it's a very traditional religious village. They want to get their kids married as soon as possible. Now, of course, I'm not saying at the age of 16, but once they're full-fledged adults. Okay. But yeah, I said, screw it. Why not? I'll give it a go. First time I went there was when I was 22 years old. My dad was taking me up and down, introducing me to different women. Now it's like, here's the girl, you're going to marry her, and that's it. It's like, just go out with her. How do you like her? So on and so forth. If she doesn't like you, nothing you can do about it.
So you're just walking through the town and he's introducing you to...
Oh, no.
I mean, how does that work?
So the way how that works is it's typically like word of mouth from families. Like, oh my God, they have like a single daughter or a single son over there. They're at this age, they're doing this, they're doing that. Maybe we should get them talking. And then we will go through like family friends who knows them, ask them about the family. It's almost like surveillancing the family from a distance, but yet everyone knows like what's going on. And then eventually like your neighbor's best friend's cousin's roommate, whatever, would ask them, hey, this other kid from this village wants to marry your son, daughter, or whatever. Are you guys cool with that? Yeah, first let's get them meeting. Let's see if they really love each other, if they really like each other, see how it goes. And if they want to be together, then we can move on from there.
So you guys have to meet first.
Of course.
And there has to be like this connection first. It's not like you are told that you were getting married to this, this other person, and then that's it.
Yeah, absolutely. Many years ago, it was like that, but they noticed, that's not really working out. So let's give them their space. Let's see if they like each other, and we can work from there.
Did your families know each other?
Not necessarily. My cousin is married to her cousin, Volteta and Mumene. Volteta is my cousin, and Mumene is her cousin. They were husband and wife, and that's how we ended up like knowing of each other's families.
Okay.
So, yeah.
And what was the first time you heard that he was looking for a wife?
Okay. Kur ti e denjta pribo kur unë dua një gruaja?
Mendoj se kur ta kumbo filxonin e.
Oh, no, pares kur ne pa. Kur Valdeta ka thënë ti ka një me gjin pri Amerikë, ç'është?
اوكي شو interesant تشوف تا تشكروني ارمتا em Facebook تشوف سي ما جميرش فرنك برسونية أما إيش هيفريكش مثلا كده شجون English.
She said that she was very afraid at first when her cousin, well, not her cousin, I'm sorry, my cousin and her cousin approached her saying, hey, you know, this is guy in America. Cousin saying, of course, you know, he's my cousin. He doesn't know Albanian too well, but he's such a sweetheart.
Did she say that, or are you just putting that word in there?
She actually said that. She said that. My wife then said, like, okay, how about this? I will add him on Facebook. I'll talk to them. I'll see how he is. You know, this is America we're talking about. Not like he's going to come live here with me. I have to go there. I have to do all this. This is a huge deal. So my wife agreed. And from there, we just started talking about David, Treve, nice na putafol. Yeah.
And how old were you when that started?
Nistenia.
21.
21. So you were both 21.
No, she was 21. And at the time, I was 23.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your dad mentioned it at 21, but it took a couple years to get it.
What was the thought for you about potentially leaving your home country, your family, your friends, you know, coming to the United States, which you didn't know anything about, and, you know, you didn't know the language. What was that experience like for you?
City Kamandao, okay, Arbin rin ka Marika, City da Baegia, Titalon Familia, Tino Kadin English Jeta. City Kamandao.
Po, fillim ka kone shumë kesh për mu. Se isha, mundasha me Google Translate ta bëj të foli me ta, i sa herës, në telefon sidomos ishe ma problem për të folë, se nuk u kuptoshim. Shumë herë nuk të kuptan e ta i gjyke thamë. Në mendojsha se do bëjmë shumë e fortë për këtë gjatë, t'jem larg familjes e ne t'jem me ta për gjithmonë.
Okay. She said that she was like very nervous at one point because she knew I couldn't speak Albanian too well, and we would use a lot of Google Translate just trying to go back and forth. And she's thinking, "Oh my God, I'm going to have to use this app when I'm in America. This is going to be crazy." However, she felt that if she were to come here with me, she would have like a better life. But on top of that, she would feel like she would be a much stronger woman.
Oh,
like learn how to like, you know, do things on her own a bit.
Yeah, that's great. Awesome.
Is there a difference between a marriage in your old country and here, and how women are treated, or what the roles are, the expectations?
Oshë drejshet si femët e gjia e në femët tau e në më shumë me to martesme, darës më shështau?
Po, shumë diferencë. E në për femnat e në për martesën. Foli për femnat?
Aha, po.
Okay. Femnat e gjia e kejnë, për shumë, kur dalish nash një kafet e pash, nash dalish shkollë, shvesh në një sa dërajsh për e pështirë për të drejta, për të vesh, i kushtojnë shumë rëndësi modës, veshjes, këtë gjajat. Nuk dalin si këto, për shembull, që i pa disa femna dalin si jona për shpaj, për shopping, nuk ka i rëndësi si janë vesh. Kjo është për të nja nuk së ndele shtone. Për shembull, se dalish në për gazetën e për ato news. Martesa është a gjema ndrejshë, se shumicat e grave rajnë më shumë shpajt, burat më shumë punojnë, gjelozia më shumë është kukeve, gjibone. Për shembull, duhet në sop të pesi shku të shkoja, të shkoj këta, të shkoja gjenë, ndoshta me familjen tënde, nëse është për shku.
Okay. So she said it's very, very, very different in between two cultures. For example, what she noticed is American girls in comparison to, well, like girls from like the Balkans, they will go out in sweatpants, like a sweat top or whatever, hair undone, no makeup, so on and so forth, immediately out the house within 5 minutes, unless it's like a super fancy party. Whereas women back in our part of the woods, they need at least an hour or two just to get ready, to find out what they want to wear, what they want to do, so on and so forth, because they don't want to be made fun of if they come out like looking like bleh or anything like that. As for like weddings and like just overall, when it just comes to like the male versus female culture over there, here, my wife was very shocked to find that like a lot of women were working as well too. I mean, I don't want to say like very surprised by it, but like, oh wow, you know, it's actually a much bigger thing than what I thought it was. Whereas the women back home, typically they're mostly housewives. If they want to go out somewhere, they constantly have to ask if they're late by anything. Sometimes the husbands could get very possessive and jealous. Like, oh my God, like how come it took you half an hour to get home, or how come it took this, or how come it took that, so on and so forth. So overall, what she's saying is that like women here have a bit more like freedom to like do what they please. Whereas the women back at home, it's very traditional, very cultural. You have to ask where you want to go. You have to like wear your makeup. You have to look good, presentable, so on and so forth.
Now, the religious background is Muslim, correct?
The Albanian culture, there's two major religions: Catholic Orthodox, and then you have Islam. So, but Islam is the overall arcing religion.
That is the main religion in the country. Okay. So are those cultural differences, or are those differences that are more religious?
Those are differences more religious. I mean, generally speaking, Albanians don't really care about what you are. I mean, if you're Albanian, and they'll treat you like no different, no same than anyone else. But yeah, we do have our own like mini cultural differences. It's like there's subcultures in there. An example of this is, for example, let's say, okay, so me and my wife, we go back to Macedonia, we do the wedding ceremony there. When she comes to my house over there, what the women have to do in that village is give her gold. Like that's something that we commonly do, like give her gold. They would like normally put like some sort of like a skin glue on the gold, and like they would put it on her face, but like of course make it look like a beautiful pattern and so on and so forth. They would do something like that. So.
And that's part of the cultural ceremony of getting married?
Yes.
Okay.
So your guys' first contact was through Facebook?
Yeah, it was through Facebook.
And how long between that and actually meeting?
It was about 1 year. Yeah, it was definitely about 1 year. Ni vet ka kanë pri kur ne ka fol ka Facebook njer ku ne pa po.
Apo.
Yeah.
And what were each of you thinking during that first year?
Çfarë ti mendon kur ne fol ka Facebook?
Për ta?
Ose për kaj.
Isha shumë e gale se kur do vesh të shoh kur problemi të folmës më shumë ishe. E mendojsha se shesha se ta e në pikpamje e më ndrejshë pigjem të gjene, thishëm si do më të me këtë. Nuk e dia, nuk ma besa se mund të vaj punat fejome unë me taj. Asnjëherë këtë se kom menda, nuk ma ka marrë mendja. Që tërsen, kjo është njerës.
Okay. So what she said was she was extremely nervous when talking to me because as she was looking through my photos on Facebook, she was like, wow, this dude is not an Albanian at all. I'm literally marrying an American right now, who doesn't like going out to cafes every night. Instead, will like to go out and play airsoft, or will go out to like eat like burgers every night, so on and so forth, and barely can speak the language perfectly. Like she was very nervous. Like she, at that point, she thought like, yeah, there's no way we're going to get engaged. There's no way this is going to happen. But she gave me a chance and just wanted to see what would happen.
And how about you? What were you thinking that year?
Holy shit. I was scared shitless. Like, oh my God, like I'm only 23 years old. What is every other 23-year-old my age doing? They're probably going out, buying their first sports car. They're, drinking it up. They're having fun. They're, I don't know, like they're being a player, so on and so forth. And then here's me like, oh, now I have to get my life together as early as possible. And I'm like, oh my God, is this right? Is this right? Is this right? I'm about to like go over there and potentially pick up a random woman that I just met for like X amount of days, and bring her here to America, and she knows nothing. So I have to like, quote unquote, like appropriate her to American culture. Yeah, it was nerve-wracking. So
tell us about the day you guys met.
Ana që dhe këmë këmë shumë nervos, isha shumë emocioname se si do dhe shtaj të qof. Në momentin e parë kur të këmë pa të rrisë që ka tropi se kisha shumë emocione, okay? And nësajnë, unë nuk të culloj isha ishta, isa ishte ku lishate, nësë pun të culla tajte, nësë kësha mu të më culla. E në normal, nëse si u shku në ato në lanë vetë, të kemë folë për jetën këto në Amerikë, për familjen tonë, për shoqët toja, në folësha për jetën a gjithë si është diferenca Amerikë-Macedoni, e për këtë, a ditë kina folë.
Okay.
E në të thonë se normal, do të njifna ma shumë, të shofë një qëtërën ma shumë, se si është.
Okay. So with her story, I will definitely translate that as well too, as I'm telling mine, because of course our stories like intertwined. So to start off with mine, I remember I got there with my dad, and this was maybe the third time we went back to Macedonia for me to find someone. Of course, the first 2 times didn't go well. I remember it was as soon as I landed in the airport, I told her, "Hey, just want to let you know I made it to the Skopje airport. I'm probably gonna go straight home first, rest for 2 days because of course jet lag sucks. And then I would definitely like to meet with you." She says, "Of course, great, we can definitely do that." Those 2 days went by real quick. Like, holy hell. I was dreading those 2 days. Like, let this take its time. I want to enjoy myself as a single man. It'll be great. And next thing you know, oh my God, okay, so today's the day I'm going to meet her. The hours went by very quick. And my cousin was like, "Are you ready? We're going to go see her." I'm still in my PJs at this point. And I'm like, oh, that's right now. Should I take a shower? You can do this? I'm like, I'm going to wing it, okay? I just put on some nice pair of jeans. I put on a decent shirt. And we went to this mall. At this mall, at the very top, there's this huge cafe. The mall was called Palma Mall. A cafe was Cafe Emporium. And it was me, my older cousin, and his wife. We were just sitting down, relaxing, having some coffee together. And then all of a sudden, my cousin, her cousin, and she comes in. And then, of course, my cousin and her cousin shake our hands, gives us a hug, say, "Hey, it's nice to see you guys. It's so good. How's everything?" So on and so forth. And there's her at a distance, kind of like her head tilted off to the right and looking at me like, "Oh, okay, so there he is. There's the American kid I might be with one of these days." And now from there, this is from my wife's point of view. She was scared shitless, very, very, very nervous. And I was like, "Oh my God, here he is." And she would not look at me at all. Like, I would try to talk to her, and then she would look at me like, "Oh, hi, how are you?" And then immediately look away. And what she's saying is, all he did was just stare directly at her the entire time, like trying to make eye contact, so on and so forth.
That you were staring at her?
Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, wow, she's very, very pretty and stuff." And oh my God, hi. I'm like, "Okay, I like when I finally saw her, I'm like, okay, I feel very, very comfortable now. Okay." And then after that, my cousin's and my cousin's husband both walked out, and they just said, "Take your time, walk around a bit. We'll see you guys in like half an hour, okay?" So we just sat there, we drinking coffee together. We just wanted to get to know each other. We just asked about life in Macedonia, life in America, and then after that, we just walked around the mall a bit. And according to my wife, she stated that she was shaking the entire time. Like, "Oh my God, I'm just meeting this guy. And he's like very talkative and I feel very embarrassed. I'm not talking to him. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God."
So what happens from there?
And stay, domu po skate? Okay. From there, I messaged my cousin and I'm like, "Hey, we're done talking." And my cousin was like, "Okay, meet us outside." Because they went to a different place, like maybe a good 20 minutes away from the mall, to go have coffee there, okay? And so I just sat outside with her and we were just sitting down relaxing. And I don't know, it just got to one point we were just smiling like idiots at each other, like, "Oh, I couldn't have one smile, just I just said, "Hey, I just want to really say, I really like your makeup. I think it looks really nice." She's like, "Oh, thank you," all that stuff. And then I asked her, "Hey, do you mind if we take a picture together?" She's like, "Yeah, okay, we can definitely take a picture." We take a picture. And that was the first time we met. And I said, "I'm not sure if we're going to go on with this, but I just want to say, you're a very good friend. You've been very good to me," because she helped me a lot prior to us getting engaged, getting married. She was there when my mom got diagnosed with breast cancer and had her surgery. She sent me a long essay and told me just to give it to her mom. And mom was like, "You marry her, okay? I don't care. You go marry her. She's a sweetheart." She was there when my aunt died of cancer and when my cousin died of cancer. And then after all that, when my dog died, she stood up all night while I was crying.
Was that all during that first year before you met?
Yeah. Okay. It was literally months leading up to that point. I was in god awful tears, but she was there for me. She was talking to me "Don't worry, it's all right. I get it. I understand." She was very sweet with me. And I think that's what really pushed me to go over to Macedonia and say, "You know what? I really need to see her." For all I know, maybe she is the one for me. Who knows?
How long between that first meeting and do you get engaged? Do you get married? How does that work?
We got engaged. Akurnia sosadita kad mal en akurnia ka fial. Sika kon festit? Festadit?
No, Kater.
Katerdit? Okay. 4 days.
So you met 4 days later, you're engaged.
Yeah.
And then
I mean, just to let you know, like, it wasn't just strictly Facebook. We used an app called Viber where we did talk a lot and we did, like, video chat each other. So, yeah.
And then after those 4 days from being engaged, how long till you're married?
So we had to wait a whole year.
Okay.
Because it was just so much paperwork that we had to do.
For the U.S. or for...
Yeah, for the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, for the U.S. Yeah, it was just a year of us not seeing each other. We did talk every single day. And of course, that definitely put a lot of strain in our engagement as well too. Corona kashko prapka Amerik prnivit shom nervozne bonece no kapa prnivit chishta. Okay.
Akoni periode keqen për mua, 3 muaj akon për mua.
Yeah, and it definitely put a strain on us, and it got to the point where we did have to bring our families together and say, guys, we really need your help. Like, what's going on? Like we're trying to like make things better, but we feel like nothing's working out. I really like her; she really likes me. What do we do from there? And
what kind of help were you looking for from the families?
Just advice, like what the hell do we do? And
is that in terms of paperwork or is it in terms of
no,
logistics?
like, and that was more like it wasn't like paperwork. Like paperwork that was all settled. Okay, it's just a very painstaking, long process. Like for her to come here to America, it took a whole year, and now for her to get a green card, it took a whole year. So, yeah, I mean, we're at the end of it, but what the help that we were looking for, it's just more like support for us. It's like, look, what? She's very pissed off. She wants to see me, but I can't physically go over there. And, she's not understanding this, like our American culture where it's just strictly work, vacation. You get your 2 weeks, you're done. You can't go anymore.
Right.
Whereas like when it goes back to the men and women in Macedonia, whoever's working, I know my cousins, they go to the factory to work. And then after that, they just tell their bosses, hey, I'm going to go spend 2 hours with my family. Yeah, no problem. Go ahead. Spend like an hour or two with your family, drink coffee, eat dinner, and then come back to work.
So it's more laid back.
Yeah, it's very laid back.
More family oriented.
Tell us the story about the day you guys got engaged. How did that happen?
Okay.
Folju?
Ose ti unë s'ka lidhje.
Po, pjedi gjerë se aftën e gjeu pa. Ditën e parë, ditën e tretën, për ditën e tu folë për jetën tonë, taj për tonë, dhe në temën që kina bo para se më njoft. Okay, e nësë pësushim se do të njifna në pakës, kina nevoj në pak. Ta I marje, po në ala do të njifna. Okay, e në shkoj unë shpajnë e babim sot unë e du të zadekë me babën e Arbinit, se nëse ta e pëlqish Arbinin, pse ta zgjatim këtë punën e feja se stalam për vitin qeter. Okay, në më pojsam Arbinit I kalzit traditat se jonë të ne, se do të zadekët babjet me babin tem, njoftohan, e ndoshta në ditë fejona, në Arbini, okay, sa nuk ka problem, unë disa në babit, që I zatekën për të një ditë fejona, masajnë, mas kësaj, e në që kaqë, nëse vazhdojë taj.
Okay, so again, we're going to intertwine the stories a bit. After we like broke off from the mall, now I'm not saying broke off in a negative way, like, okay, you go your way, I'll go my way, whatever. As I was in the car, immediately my cousin and his wife turned around, like as they're driving, like think about like someone driving, turning around and not even looking at the road. So how is she? I'm like, can you look at the fucking road for a minute? But they're asking me about her. I'm like, look, I think she's great, but what me and her made a deal on is we're going to wait a bit, okay? Because we don't want to rush into things. We want to make sure we are truly right for each other. Like I said, like 3 to 6 months, I'll come back, and if we really want to do this, we'll get engaged. And she agreed, like, yeah, we can totally do that. Of course, when I got home, all like the women in the family suffocated me. They were like, "Oh my God, so how is she? Was she great? Was she this? Was she that? You don't have to listen to them. Was she did?" Yeah, and like same thing with her. Like all the women in her family, like not like just like her mom and her like 2 sisters, like her mom, sisters, cousins, aunts. All those people came by just like the FBI interrogating. So I'm like, how is he? How is this? How is this?
It's a lot of pressure.
No, it was a lot of pressure. Yeah. And I just told my family, like what I told my family was like, you know what? You need to back off. I need to talk to my parents about this because if we do get engaged, she's going to be living with me, not with you. But of course, they like the pride. They like to listen. Like, no. I mean, it's okay. Don't worry about it. She's going to learn. She's going to do this. She's going to do that. Blah, 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 blah. My dad was super for it. He's like, yeah. She's going to be great. You're going to love her so much. And my mom, of course, she wanted to take a step back and said, listen, if you really do like her, I just want to say, I'll be very proud of you and I'll be very happy with you. If you want to be with her. If you don't want to be with her, no matter what, I still love you. I'll still be happy with you. And I don't want you jumping into it. And next thing you know, 3 months later, you two are not meant to be together, okay? I liked her answer, but then again, for some reason, her answer gave me so much pressure. Okay. And then now here comes my dad, like in the exact same room as I'm sitting there, like, oh my God, what's going on?
And your mom's not there, right?
No, she's not. Here. Yeah, she's back. She's back in the States with my sister, and my sister gave me the exact same speech as well. But my dad was like, "So do you want to do this or not?" I'm like, I think we should really think about this. And my dad's like, "You got 24 hours." Are you kidding me?
So this is after the agreement you guys made.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You're going to wait like 6 months, and then your dad's saying, well, you have 24 hours to figure this out.
Yeah. And of course, like the mentality over there is like, no, dude, you got to do this now, because for all you know, she might want to be with someone else, or, like she's going to think you're not serious. I'm like, Dad, we made the agreement. It's fine. Okay, tika niti prta mendua kote na unuk prta nok, it's okay. Una ena jazida katan pro trejash mui chishtal. The Baba thought no, but hilbit Tino Bon stages the mundo puto Martin Chita.
Not periodo.
Well, sorry, and I'm just translating to my wife what exactly I was saying. But after that, I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Okay. And then
so you agreed you're going to go ahead with it.
I'm like, fuck it, let's go. My dad's like, good. Now I'm going to call her father, and just to let you know, like her father gave her the exact same speech that my dad did. Like, oh, for all you know, maybe he can find another girl in America or here. You need to like get this thing done on the road. And she's like, okay, let's talk. Now, this is where it gets interesting. When we do the talks, the wife is not present. The only people who were present was me, my dad, and my two cousins.
All the men.
Yeah, all the men. And then on the other side, again, all the men. It was her father, her uncle, and my uncle. So basically my cousin's father. Okay. Mm-hmm. And we're all just sitting there having like a cup of coffee, some ice cream, saying like, hey guys, how's it going? We just want to get to know you, all this stuff. After we finish the coffee, then that's when we go into the business transaction.
Business transaction.
I always laugh and call it a business transaction because my dad's like, okay, so my son wants to marry your daughter and your daughter wants to marry my son. Like, what do you want from us? And of course, her father straight up said, we don't want anything. All we want is our daughter to have a better life and be happy and live with, someone who's going to take care of her and treat her right.
When you say they want, what do you want? That kind of thing. It's like dowry. Is that what you're talking about?
Yeah.
So typically in this negotiation, families are exchanging actual like money and property and things like that.
Yeah, sometimes it is like that, but I know like the culture slowly moving away from that because like there's like this whole Western movement that's going on over there in Albania and like many of the different Albanian villages within the different countries. So people are trying to get away from that. But ideally, that's what happened. But that's what her dad said, we just want her to live somewhere happy and healthy and where she can raise her family, get an education and do all that stuff. And my dad said like, well, we feel the same way. We're not asking for anything. And her father turned around and said, well, you know what? We give you our blessing. We allow our daughter to marry your son. And my dad was like, well, I feel the same way. I give I give blessing as well too. And I would like my son to marry your daughter. And of course, everyone jumps up like, oh my God. Oh, Hadlikov, which Hadlikov means like, oh yes, congratulations or hallelujah, things like that. And then my dad was like, hold up. Let me ask my son one last time. Okay. If he says no hard feelings, we're done. And the guy was like, oh, I'm sorry. No problem. Okay. Like all the men on her side of the family, my dad looks at me and says, yes or no. The longest 5 seconds of my life, I look at him and I said, Dad, do you really think this is a good idea for me? And my dad's like, 5, 4. And then like, I'm flipping a coin in my head at this point. I'm like, okay, if it's heads, I say yes. If it's tails, it ain't going to happen. And then like, once that coin falls in my head, it says heads. I'm like, fuck it, let's go. Yeah, I'm down with it. Everyone gets up. Oh, Heiligkoft. They all give me hugs and kisses. Her dad starts crying. And I'm sitting there like, God damn it. Like literally 10 seconds ago, I was a single man. Now I'm engaged. What the fuck just happened?
What are you thinking when he's out at this meeting? What are you doing?
Okay,
nuk mendoj se do fejoana, kur shumë si është një njoftim tjesë vetëm për atë periudhën kur erdhe, kur tu mendoj se vjetin tjetër do fejoana. Okej, unë të sjellin se unë isha të lajtë pikash, për të pastrosh pajën, në veç kur him Facebook, okej, shoh Arbinim ka shkruajt ataj njerëzve një post e ka bërë se në ditë do fejoana, në what is this?
So So verbatim translation, okay?
Right.
She was at home just cleaning the rugs and cleaning the house. You know, she just wanted to get her mind off this. She's thinking it ain't gonna happen, ain't gonna happen, ain't gonna happen. And then all of a sudden she sees messages by me, okay? Because I automatically thought, okay, I made the assumption that she knew that like this was gonna happen. Like she actually physically said, yes, sure, no problem. I want to be with him. Okay. I had no idea. Like her father said, like, we're just gonna go out for coffee and see what's up. And she's like, okay, yeah, sure, no problem. She didn't even think we were going to go that far.
So she didn't know that this conversation, this negotiation, as you say, was actually happening.
Yeah.
Business transaction.
The business transaction.
Business nibbling.
So what's the message that she sees?
She opens up Facebook and sees her tagged in some of my posts saying, hey guys, I just want to let you know I finally have a wife. Because like the running joke with the
I remember that post.
Yeah. And like the running joke within like the Chicago Airsoft Association was like, so Arbin, when are you going to go home and find a wife? Come on, go find a wife, go and find a wife. And I just wrote a post saying like, well, guys, you know, just want to let everyone know I got engaged. And
so before she knows,
yeah,
you're posting.
Facebook. Yeah, I posted about it and I told my dad like, hey, you know, are you okay if I post this right now or don't post it at all? My dad's like, hell yeah, post it. Oh my God, man. Oh my God. I'm Aga Baba now. I'm Aga Baba. Aga Baba means like, I am now like the father-in-law of someone else. Oh. And this is like a huge thing. And it's like a title that every dad wants to have.
To be a father-in-law?
Yeah, of course.
Wow, that's amazing.
And my dad was going nuts and I posted. And then all of a sudden she texts, like she sends me a message via Viber and she's like, did we get engaged? I'm like, yeah,
let's go.
We got engaged. And there I'm sitting on like the bed, like, son of a gun, I just got engaged. Okay.
Did you guys see each other that day?
Ditën jo për kafe, në kësham kur dulem për t'i vu nozat në restorant, a ditë majna, pa në kësham.
Yeah, so the whole like quote unquote business transaction, and I don't want to call it business transaction anymore, like the whole engagement talks, that happened in the morning.
Negotiations.
Yeah, there we go. That happened in the morning, and then immediately we set the plans for the engagement dinner that night. So, like, all I know is my dad and my cousins are going up and down, finding the best restaurant there, finding the best food, seeing what we can do, what we want. And there was a mall, maybe a good 10 minutes away from where we met. We went upstairs to that mall, beautiful restaurant, by the way. And yeah, we just talked to them. We did the catering. They asked us what we wanted to do, and yeah, so on and so forth, all that mini stuff. And so that night, my dad was like, put on your best suit. You know, you're going to get engaged tonight. This is going to be the greatest day of our lives, so on and so forth. And I'm sitting there like, you know, it still hasn't hit me yet. Yeah, it still hasn't hit me yet. And I'm thinking about her, like, what is she thinking right now? What is she?
And you guys have only seen each other at the mall.
Yeah.
For one time.
Yeah.
So there isn't in your culture like the traditional proposal.
No.
Right? Like proposal happens here in the US.
I mean, it's slowly happening over there. Like it slowly is, but traditionally speaking, yeah, it's not like the standard proposal. The guy gets down on one knee. I mean, I've even heard like women getting down on one knee for the guy as well and saying, will you marry me? And there you go.
Right.
Yeah, it's the family's really involved.
Having that kind of perspective, right, from your culture, what do you guys think about the traditional US proposal?
Sitter man då si när fion Jacob Matchtoni and si American fion ta.
Që dini fejon se në digjo fejon me në restorant, po ka në një pjesë tjetër që dalin të di familjet, restorant më të madh, ka muzikë live, në fejon ata I vinu nozat, në ose janë ndron ka 3-4 fustona nesat sasë të ceremonia jo e darsmës, fejesës, në fund të vinu nozat, ajo shkon prin 7 në këshom në 12 ose 1 drekës, jo si në di e patëm më të thjesht, vetëm familjet tona, më të vogla.
E na tau ka mrek, si ti vendon si ne bon tau.
Si.
No ka di, o ti te me një kom posh që ti unë ose që shta?
Po, atë di, ashta e kum pa në profil, no, adi. Vende qera dhe me, se ne nuk është ashta.
Okay. My wife says that she's kind of unfamiliar with how the Americans do it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, she only see like what they do in the movies, like the guy gets down on one knee, will you marry me? And that's it. Whereas back in Macedonia, we had a very small engagement party. And the reason why was because at the time we had so much loss in our family that it would be at a cultural standpoint, distasteful to have like live music and have a lot of people.
It'd be like insensitive to do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And of course, at the time it was my dad's niece that passed away of cancer, like 3 months prior. And so we just had like a small dinner. We opened up our rings. And then after that, she had my ring and I had her ring. I gave her my ring and she gave.
Where did you get the rings?
A funny story. So I made a joke with my dad like a year prior. I'm like, yeah, Dad, you want to buy me a ring? I'm like, yeah, buy me this ring, $120. It has Rammstein on it. Rammstein, of course, is my favorite band of all time. I was making a joke at that, okay? I mean, that's totally no problem. A week later, what happens? I see a package from Germany with Rammstein stickers on it. I'm like, what the hell is this? I pop it open and there's the ring for me. I'm like, oh. And then I look at my parents, I'm like, you know, I was joking about this. And they're like, yeah, we just want to take it like a step farther and, complete the joke. I'm like, okay. So there goes my ring.
Is that the ring you're wearing right now?
Yeah, this is the ring that I'm wearing right now.
So it's an engagement and a wedding ring.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then as for her ring, like I wanted to be involved with it, but my mom, sister, aunt, grandmother were like, don't worry. We ladies, we know what we want and what we do. We'll buy it. Don't worry. I'm like, okay. I mean, this is weird, but normally the guy has to be there and say like, yes, put his heart and soul into like whatever ring he wants. And my mom goes over there, and this is prior to we getting engaged. Okay. Sends the picture to me. I'm like, oh, wow, like that's definitely a beautiful ring. Buy it. And then immediately my mom sends the picture to her. And now my wife's like getting the idea like, oh my God, he's going to get engaged to me. I'm like, why would you send her that picture? Like, like I don't know anything yet. Like, what's wrong with you? And my mom's like, oh, well, shit, too late. It happened. So yeah, that's how we got our rings.
And is that traditional too, where, the groom really isn't the one picking out the ring? It's like the family members are doing that?
Yeah. It's like the family members does everything.
Wow.
Yeah.
أنا شم ذراتها وكان ناوسيا family zbori.
Oh yeah, and like on top of that, there's like a ton of gifts that we would send to the fiance. Well, like we would send to my wife, and of course I would get gifts as well too, but not as much in comparison to her. They would literally spend a week on like what gifts we need to buy her, so on and so forth, before we go to her house. Like,
and they're supposedly from you, but your family is the one that's buying the gifts and sending it to her.
Yeah.
And is it her family that's sending gifts to you?
Not as much gifts, but but yeah, like that is the idea. But mostly it's us giving her gifts. It's more like a way for the families to woo her in.
Oh.
Like to bring her in. I'm like, hey, don't worry, we'll take care of you. We'll do all this and everything. Just come with us, be like our new wife, our new sister of the house, so on and so forth. Yeah, we definitely did not skimp out at any of her gifts. We had them all laid out. We had them in these big, beautiful silver boxes, like maybe 10 of them, and we just like laid them out. And she had to like slowly open them, present them in front of the family.
Is this at the engagement party?
Yeah, this is. I know the engagement party already happened, but this is us finally going to her house. This is like now saying this. So
this is still in the same visit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you have an option, or was your wedding going to look like this no matter what, no matter who the groom was?
No, just recommend that. I compat my plan to show.
Yeah. Oh yeah, she said like that's how it was planned, so she didn't care who she got married with, but yeah.
She didn't care who she got married to.
Yeah, of course. Like that's how she wanted it.
Because you could have potentially dated someone and did an American type of romance / marriage.
Yeah, of course. And my parents, even though like they say the option was there, like, you don't have to get anyone over there. You can get someone here. There was like that little underlying thing.
Right.
It's like, you can get whoever, but we really, really, really prefer you get someone from over there.
So do they not date over there? There's no dating?
Atitin sina American bontau neno ka marke familia chokyo tsal urduki tsal solo shkon kudot.
Yun kedi.
No ka atitin sita ka Amerik.
Toma festeken, vetem cazin sona ducat ona.
En to shkon vet en to shkol bon dashno proprio trekata peche stau en prite hide.
Trek marton. Okay, tipo.
Yeah, I mean back at home it's very, very taboo to do that because I mean, a lot of people want to start doing that. The thing is, a lot of the older generations are saying like, oh, wow, look at this girl. Like, she dated someone last year. Now she's with another guy. And then like she was with this guy for 3 years and now she's with another guy. I mean, that's the standard American process, But a lot of the people back home will be like, oh, she must be a slut or she must be doing this or she must be doing that.
Oh, so she gets like blacklisted then.
Oh, yeah, definitely. She definitely gets blacklisted.
Yeah. And do the guys do too? If a guy does that?
Not as much, but it depends. Like he really needs to do something very, very, very stupid, like funny story. My own dad at one point was blacklisted from many families. Like, no one married, have him get married with your daughters or anything like that. He's such a bully. He's beat up my kids. He's done this. My dad was a bully when he was younger.
Uh-huh.
And it wasn't until my grandfather said like, yeah, we'll give him a chance. Why not? And he bullied my mom when they were in grade school together. And there was many people like straight up telling my grandfather, look, dude, I'll give you $5,000 to not do that. Or if you're really going to do that, kill your own daughter instead of like having her getting married with him. And what do you know? Many years later, like 30 plus years later, my family's been happily married. So
Did either of you consider anyone else?
Ati manduva paricita rin para ko niya. Apa? So
Yeah. Ajo. Se ajo janë kom shumë xheloza. Njerëzit e neapărat s'ko mund të lejojnë të njoftohen me një mashkull tjetër se ishin shumë xheloza. A ne bile me taj kur jam zata kse drejt kom thonë xhelozi nuk duhet.
Yeah, she said like no, she never saw anyone else because she knew the men back in Macedonia get extremely jealous. Like let's say she goes out, like wants to see someone and they don't really hit it off. Then she goes out with another guy. A lot of guys and girls back in Macedonia, they love to talk. Like you may not know this person that you see in front of you, but they might know your cousins, best friends, uncles, and it's gonna go all the way around. Everyone likes to talk back home. So as for me, I mean, I did go back a few times and I did meet a few people. Like the first person I met, I literally looked at my dad and I'm like, hey dad, is she actually 19 years old? Because she looks like a child. I swear to God. Like it was very, very, very weird. My dad's like, let me ask again. Hold up. Because now he's getting like thinking about this, looking at her, then looking at me like, okay, hold up. And my cousin said, yes, don't worry. She's 19 years old. Relax. And we didn't hit it off. Like she didn't look at me. She didn't even like want to like recognize I was there. And I think her father was asking for a ton of money at the time. And my dad was like, you know what? I don't think I can get along with his family. But my dad still said, like, if you like her, go for it. If not, I'm like, don't worry about it. I don't care. So
you had the same kind of meeting that the two of you had, like going to a mall and just having coffee, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, of course.
But you didn't hit it off.
No, we absolutely did not hit it off. The second person was one of my cousin's best friend's friend that they went to university together. He came over and said, like, okay, I know a girl who knows English very well. I think you two would hit it off. We talked for a good 5-6 months. And I said, I really like you and I really like to see you. And she was like, yeah, of course, totally. And I said, just want to let you know it's expensive for me to buy a plane ticket and to go all the way over there. So if I'm going to go over there, I would like to meet. But if you don't want to meet, just let me know right now. I won't take it to offense and we'll call it quits and call it a day. She's like, no, I would like for you to like come by. I'm like, okay, cool. Tell my parents, I like this girl. I'll meet her. She seemed very sweet. And like, yeah, no problem. They buy a plane ticket a month later. I tell her like, hey, just let you know, I'm finally going to see you. This is going to be great. She's like, oh yeah, it's going to be great too. I get to the airport in Skopje. And I texted her, I'm like, hey, just let you know I landed at the airport. She messaged me back saying, oh, just want to let you know, I just want to be friends. I don't want to do anything else with you. I don't want to marry you because there's someone else I like. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Wow.
Yeah. So that does happen to a lot of guys as well too. And I'm like, you know what? I don't want to see you. I don't want to meet you because I told you 4 or 5 times. Are you okay with this? Did you want to do this? And I said, you had the chance to say no.
How is divorce viewed?
Si, nashitara mendon to sanjida.
Qytetar, kur të e dish pak kur fejona nëse me hoq si është vendojmë çka që lira, shembull 10-15 lira familjare në ose s'kërkon, dësha e dim pak a shumë. Okej, e në art puna dani kërkojnë lirat, e kërkojnë pjesën që i takon gruas pasunin. Kjo është më shumë ç'kështu dante në njerëzit, jo.
Dan ç'është.
Po. Ai me dokumenta ne i kërkojnë gjërat e veta, gruaja i kërkon gjërat e veta, pasunin e vet që e ka ta marrë. Okay.
So it's actually like a bit religiously involved back in Macedonia. So the way how it goes is what we say is hoja, which is in English the imam. Okay, they would like both parties, both families would have to go to them and say, you know what, they like them too. They want to get a divorce, and of course, like the imam will need to like sit them down and talk to them. Do you really, really, really want to do this? Okay, and of course, if they really, really want to do this for XYZ reasons, whatever, then they will do it. But the thing is, like now the imam kind of plays as almost like the lawyer. Okay, like the imam will go to that house and we'll go to that house where the husband is and have the wife like remove all her stuff, everything, every bit of thing. And then once that's done, the mom just makes sure to see that she's safe walking out, nothing bad happens to her. And after that, that's it. They're done. It's over with. All the documents that they had, like the mom has to now make a new set of documents saying they're done, they're divorced. Yeah.
But it doesn't happen too frequently.
Nuk vjen shumë shpesh, po? Nuk është shumë shpesh me Isa.
Nuk është shpesh? Varet. Ndodhen, në shpesh.
Yes and no. Like there's some couples that may last for a year and then something might happen, boom, they're done. And then you have other couples that are good for 15, 20 years and then something happens then. So
okay.
How do they tend to the children, or are they financially responsible still?
Si shkon me të callat kur I sa dan.
Da. Po nëse gruaja nuk punon, nëse punon burri, atë nëse gruaja I mba callë, burri duke I des muj për muj tu lisho e pare. Tu që e pare.
So typically speaking, since the women don't work, the women will take care of the kids a good majority of the time, and the husband has to give money to the family.
Yeah, we've interviewed a divorce attorney, and we've spoken about the topic of blended families, and just kind of how the culture is here in the United States, that 1 out of 2 marriages really end up in divorce, right? And that step families are the largest family structure in the United States. I imagine that it's not as popular in Macedonia as it is here in the U.S., and it's probably not as seen as trivial as it is here. Would you say?
Dalka Amerika kur I sa të dan. Normal. Okay. So a gjë Maqedoni nuk është shumë normal, po I sa të punë.
Nuk është normale. E nëse dash duhet të shumë të mendosh më herë se të njerëzit do folin, të njerëzit da ofendojnë atë femën që e kalon burrin, se duhet nëse të shkojt marrë burr të martam, nuk burr për shembull që s'ka pak grua hiç. Aha. Kjo është diferenca, na o pak shumë problem për të dajt burrit. O pak më problem se sa ata, si është normale.
So in comparison to America, it's almost taboo to get a divorce. And the reason why it's because it's not like you're going to get a divorce and call it a day. And we Americans, we don't talk about, okay, it's done, it's over with. You might bring it up in therapy, you might bring it up with your best friends or something like that, but beyond that, that's it. Whereas back at home, if you get a divorce, everyone and their mothers are going to know what was the reason, what happened, what's been going on. And then from there, it's not like, okay, you're divorced now, you can be free for a while. It's not like, okay, you have X amount of time for you to be alone, then you got to jump back on the ball.
Get remarried.
Yeah, and it's not only that for divorce, but it's also for engagement as well too. I know a family who the wife died, and they had a kid together. They just went out, found someone else. They so happened to find someone else whose husband died, and they had a small child as well too. And they just put them together.
Okay, they had something in common.
Yeah, they had something in common, and said, "There you go. Just treat the kid with love and respect. You're gonna love him as much as you love your own kid, and that's that."
How long into your guys' relationship did you know you loved the other person?
Sa gjatë ka kanë kur ti e di 100% ti dua mu?
Një muj masi ke ardhë në Amerikë, ma shumë që këna folë, po ma shumë 100% e kom pas kur kom ardhë në Amerikë këtone. Atëherën ma shumë jem kone dashurame se sa kur na feja ose as disa mujve.
She said that it wasn't until she finally came to America, it took her a month because she was still very ambivalent about what was going on, if I really loved her or if I was just using her, and who knows, going behind someone, going out behind her back and sleeping with someone else. But it wasn't until after the month was over, she really realized she's gonna have a good time with me, of how I act and how I treat her, and the friends that I have and my family as well too.
What about for you?
For me, so like I said, my dog died about 2 months prior to us meeting, and that was very devastating for me. And of course, dogs, and back home, no one really likes dogs or cares for dogs. Very few people have a pet dog. We'll have a pet dog, and if they do have that pet, it's outside in a cage, just left outside, maybe a little wooden shed, and call it a day. Whereas you have Jasmine here in the back, right? She's sleeping on the couch, and that's super taboo. You don't do that.
Jasmine, our therapy dog,
of course. Yeah, she realized how much I love my dog and how much I cried. She basically said I cried as if I lost my own a family member, and and this was already like a day after we got engaged. We just decided to go out and meet, and I'm still in my head thinking, am I really gonna like this girl? Did I make a mistake? Like I don't want all this happening. Like what if we break up right now? How bad is it gonna be? I don't want people making fun of her. She's a sweethearted person. I just want what's the best for her. It was going through my head. So many things were going through my head. And she says, give me 1 minute. We waited outside some store, and I'm not paying attention to the store. The store was a printing shop, okay? Mm-hmm. And I'm like, oh my God, what do I do? Should I just tell her right now? Like, I'm sorry, thank you, but I think we made a mistake. We shouldn't be doing this, whatever. And then she comes out and says, I want to give you something. I'm like, oh, okay, thank you. I open up the bag. I pull out like all the stuffing in there, and there's a coffee mug. I'm like, okay, I pull out the coffee mug. It says Junior, and on front is the picture of my dog, Junior. And I immediately looked at it. I looked at her. I started crying, and I gave her a huge hug. And I said, like, I told myself, I'm like, okay, like all those thoughts I had before immediately vanished. I'm like, I think I'll be just fine.
So what are some of the highlights and the challenges you guys have had merging and becoming a couple?
چفر ککان شام مر and شام کیچ کنه ککان تاکم مریک.
Mo kom så perse e kujdes në sto për mu, për dëshurinë tonë të jetë sa më e mirë, sa më e fortë bëhet, respekti madh ka kom për taj për mu që ke patë në familja jote. Për mu në lidhje me ta kur gjë s'kom patë keqë, përveç se unë atë mërzin teme që kom patë për familjen teme, që mund ka në sto për ditë për natë, që veç për qatë më ndoj, se për lidhje me ta s'kom patë dhe një sent keqë shumë.
Mm-hmm. Okay. She said that the biggest things that she loved about coming here and like being with me is that like I was very respectful, I was very courteous with her. I mean, of course, I did have mistakes here and there because I was still, even though I was born and raised around the Albanian culture, there's so much I don't know. What she stated beyond that was, you're very courteous with me, very sweet with me, very patient with me, even on my most like worst days, because she really missed her family. Like she has not seen her family in over a year right now because we're waiting for all this paperwork. Like for her to get her green card, and we made a promise the moment she gets that she will go back home. So yeah, like that's the biggest challenge for her is missing her family and coming home to this new family. But beyond that, she just feels very happy that I was very patient with her and understanding.
And how about for you?
The biggest challenge for me was I was living a single life before, just going out to bars with friends and family, enjoying a good time, going out whenever the hell I wanted to. Now I'm married to someone, okay? And I'm like, oh shoot, how does this, do I ask her? Or I'm like, hey, I'm going out with my friends or whatever. It was just like a whole new thing for me to learn. And on top of that, like I said, like how I didn't, like even though I was born and raised Albanian, I don't know the culture to the T. I remember one night, and this was 2 weeks in, she wanted to stay up a bit late, and I was dead exhausted from school. And she's like, oh, I want to stay up late. I'm like, okay, go ahead, stay up late. And she's like, well, I want you here. I'm like, well, I'm tired. I mean, it's okay. You can be here alone. It's not a huge deal. Because back at home, someone's going to stay up late. Everyone stays up late. Like no one leaves a person alone. And I'm like, no, it's okay. You can, you can be here alone. And as soon as I turn around, I see my dad's face. Like my dad looks at me and he tells me in English, don't worry, I'll get the blankets and pillow ready for the couch right now. I'm like, what are you talking about? I look at her and I'm like, oh God, I just pissed her off right now. And then that entire time, like she would not talk to me. And then I'm like, why are you so upset? And then she's like, how dare you tell me I can be alone? I came here, like I left my entire family for you. I'm like, wait, hold up. You got to understand something here. Here in America, I was taught like that. It's not a huge deal. If you want to stay up late, you can stay up late. You don't need me here. It's fine.
Does she know what you're talking about right now?
Didn't you want to phone up?
Fine.
She's smiling over there.
Oh,
it looked like she knew.
Yeah, she knows. And then I'm looking at her. I'm like, look, I just want to say I'm sorry. I didn't mean for it to be like this bad. And of course, this is her like first time in America. She's barely made like 2 weeks, and she would not talk to me the entire night. She just turned her back, went straight to sleep, and that was it. And I'm like, oh boy, okay, do I have a lot to learn right now? But but eventually, we sat down, we talked about it, because what my wife likes to do a lot is, like just leave it, done, it happened, it's over. Whereas me, on the other hand, I like to talk about things. And I want to hide the phone, please, hide the phone. But yeah, and she eventually stopped and said, like, I'm still upset at you, but okay, I get it. And this is something I need to learn myself too.
Mm. Do you guys want to have kids?
Adult thought?
No, nie.
So no
Okay.
stay. So
Mas trochę to wiedzie.
she says, right now, hell no. But like 2 to 4 years from now, once we're like financially stable,
Mm-hmm.
I have my job, she has her job, definitely. She'll love to have kids.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. You too?
Oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Is that something that's important to your families?
For my family, yes. In fact, to this day, they'll still say like, hey, it's okay. You can have a few kids. We got the money. We can do this. It's fine. We will take care of them always. Don't worry about it. Your kids is our kids. And I'm like, no, Dad, I want to make sure, like, no, Mom and Dad, I want to make sure that we're financially stable before we have kids. There's a lot we need to do beforehand. So give it a minute. Familie, kashom chi for what's all?
En familie.
Yeah, she was like, oh yeah, just as much as your family does. So
How many kids do you guys want to have?
2.
Oh,
2.
there she knows right away. 2. Cool.
yeah,
1
too.
boy and 1 girl.
1 boy, 1 girl.
I hope.
Yeah.
You have a question?
Yep. Last
Okay.
question. What is it that your partner does that you know that they love you?
Ce far una bun för dig, una doate.
Taj przybysz formu?
Aha.
Po respekti, besimin që kjo gjysë xhelozi. E kuptova? And
Kafe.
kafe turke. Kafe turke që vëm pajmë për ditë, pajmë për natë, në më kupton se foli për gjoja që i kam e si kam, më kupton se me të pas shoq, jo, burë.
Se.
Ha?
Se. Kush jam?
Psikolog që je. And kjo më bon që unë taj të do.
Okay. She said, what I do for her that proves that I love her so much is that I'm very understanding. I'm very patient with her. I'm very kind with her. That I make her coffee.
That's important.
Yeah, and in the Albanian culture, coffee is huge. It's very huge. And a quick little story. I remember the first time she cried, like she really cried and she missed her family. She would not tell me until I finally got her to break, and she admitted, like, I miss my family. And all I did was just held her all night, and she finally went to sleep. The next morning, I woke up. I looked on YouTube how to make Turkish coffee, and I cut her a slice of chocolate cake, and I brought it upstairs to her room. And I just woke her up. Just want to let you know I made that for you, and I walked away.
So you'd never made it before?
I've never made it. I'm like,
Wow.
Screw this. Let me try. And she says, I swear to God, it's better than what I made. I mean, better than what she made, of course. But yeah, that's what I do for her.
Mm-hmm.
And she says, and I think that's all because, you're going to be a counselor and you know how to deal with people and stuff like that. I'm like, hey, who do you think taught me? And of course, when I say, who do you think taught me, I'm talking about Ray and Jane for the people at home.
Right, because they didn't see you point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's been interning at our company for 4 months, 5 months.
Yeah, something
Right.
like that.
So, what about you?
For her,
Yeah.
she's just been very sweet with me. Very, very sweet with me, very understanding. Even when she doesn't understand what we Americans do, she's just been very open to it. She's been very receptive of the American culture as well. And the biggest thing that she's did for me was she was there for me when I had all that loss. The loss, going through what my mom had to go through, my aunt dying, my cousin dying, and then my dog dying. She was there for me. And I think that really solidified that, if we do continue on with this, I think we're going to be just okay.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
So it's Benny you go by?
Beanie.
Beanie?
Yeah.
I'm just going to say Arbin, okay?
It's fine. I don't care.
Arbin and XHEZIDE, thank you so much for being part of the podcast today. We really appreciate you coming and telling your story. This is going to be very helpful for a lot of people out there.
Thank you.
Human beings have been sharing stories for thousands of years to bond and to heal and to grow. And we hope that by you guys sharing your story, it's enriched your lives and the lives of our listeners.
Yeah, it definitely has.
For all of you out there listening, if you have any questions or topic suggestions, again, please feel free to leave a comment or look us up online at couplesynergy.com. Until next time, synergize your life, synergize your love.
You have been listening to Couple Synergy with Dr. Ray and Jean Kedkodian. Couple Synergy was recorded, edited, and produced by Dr. Ray and Jean Kedkodian. along with Organizational Director Calvin Javier and Marketing Coordinator Bridget Reese. Voiceover and music entitled Breathe and Let Go was recorded and composed by Gina Gonzalez.